All right, guys, by far the most frequent question I get on Lock Lab goes something like this. Hey, Bill, I've been picking locks for 2 days now, and how come I can't count those pins? Or how come I can't feel those pins? And that's an easy question to answer, and that is, it's always a one-word answer: practice. But the second most frequent question has to do with pinning kits. Where can I find a decent priced pinning kit? And you guys know, most of those locksmith kits, there are several thousand pins. They sell for, many hundreds of dollars, much larger than any of us in the lock sport community would ever possibly need. But I was surfing around on eBay and I found this little company called Southcoast Locksmith. And apparently they're in the UK, but they only have an eBay presence. And they sell, probably 100 different lock sport items. One of them is this little kit. And so I grabbed one, $46 and I think 33 cents. Very reasonably priced for what you get here. The first thing I noticed, I love Sauber tools, and right up front there I see a very nice set of offset Sauber pinning tweezers. The tip of those are shaped so that you can handle those pins fairly easily. They're not going to be sliding around, slipping around. Gives you positive control while you repin your lock. So pretty high quality set of tweezers right up front. You also get a standard sized follower. Different ends, obviously. You can have different types of tail pieces. You kind of got that covered as well. And then the last thing you have here is something I probably should use a lot more than I do, and that would be a Circlip Remover. You grab him, he's kind of barbed on one end, you grab him and you just pull him off, lever him off that way. I prefer to use a probe because it gives me a much higher chance of jabbing a hole in my thumb. This one is pretty safe to use, so I really try to avoid that. Anyway, these are kind of the tools that you get inside of this kit. And then you also get, let's slide this up a little bit here, you get a total of 6 different sized top pins, starting out with pretty short ones here, going all the way up to these very long ones. Let me compare these. I'm going to grab a tray here real quick and just grab the short one, and grab one of the long guys, just to give you an idea of the comparative size of these. So try to imagine this little guy hiding in the back of the lock and that one right up in the front. So try to not overset him while you reach up in the back to get that guy. Kind of a challenge. Pretty wide variety of lengths in the pins. I counted a couple of these. There was 41 in one chamber and 40 in the other. So you probably got 40 in each of these chambers for a total of like 240 pins. Inside of the kit, you'll also find a bunch of springs. I didn't count these. Probably 25 or 30 in there. You get some replacement circlips, so if the circlip doesn't work as planned and you end up snapping that circlip, or more likely, like I do, I lose control of them, they fly around, and they roll underneath the Lock Lab bench, you got some extras here to replace with that without having to get on your hands and knees and find that lost thing. The really interesting stuff comes in right down here, though. The stuff that's kind of hard for us lock sporters. Let me move that out of the way here. Let me show you what we got. Inside of this chamber are a variety of different sized, again, I'll put it on the pinning tray so we have a good contrast. We have these very long spools, and then we have some shorter guys like this. So you can install this long one either like that, which would basically give you the same feel as that one, or you could install them the other way around with a very short pin, so it would feel like a standard pin and then surprise you at the end with that spool. So it gives you a lot of possibilities. You got several different lengths of spools inside of there. In these other 2 chambers, I'll slide over here. By the way, all of these are standard size pins. They'll fit almost all Euro locks. They'll fit, Schlage, Kwikset, Weiser, all of those guys. The only ones that they won't fit would be things like Medico, which is a very unique proprietary pin. Best locks, again, it takes a proprietary pinning set to repin those. And Master Lock, which has a greatly reduced diameter. But all the other Schlage, Quicksets, this will fit all of those. On this side, we have some more spools, and these are a little bit different in diameter, very slightly different. So not only will they flop around, I'll take a large one and a small one here to compare. Not only will it give you that weird spool, but it'll give you a lot of flop in that cylinder. It's just to flop around before you start to get into that spool action. So again, you start combining some of these different pins, you're going to get a lock or training lock with a lot of different feel, more likely a challenge lock. These guys look like master wafers, but they're not. Instead, let me get the pinning tray here so you can see. I'm going to try to turn this guy on his side. He's actually a very, I may not be able to do it, he's so small. I'm going to turn him upright like this. He's a very tiny, almost like a serrated pin with a single serration or a very, very short spool pin. So I've never encountered a lock with one of these evil little devils in it, but I'm sure that day is probably going to be coming. So you have a lot of different spool options for your training or your challenge locks. This last chamber holds a bunch of different pins. We have, again, more spool pins. Put him right here, a very long spool pin, and I thought I saw another, there's a little green one, and I thought I saw one more short one, little red one. Here we go. So again, wide variation in spools for all of them. So you got standard spools, you have reduced diameter spools, you have this tiny little evil guy here, and then you have some different lengths of the standard diameter. Inside of this chamber is also more interesting stuff, and I'm running out of space here on this pinning tray, but I'm going to try to put a good sample up here, and I think a purple one is what I'm after. Turn him sideways. He looks like a standard pin, but these are actually, I don't think they're real ASA pins, but they're serrated pins that look very much like the ASA. It's really evil to pick. We got multi-cuts here, a couple of cuts there, and a single cut here. You could even categorize this guy as a single spool, but because of how narrow that is, I would more categorize him as a single serration. So a lot of really evil stuff for $46.43 from Southcoast. I'll put the link where I found this and bought this from down in the description in case you're interested. Another neat little thing that they had was this guy. It is a UPVC tool is how they label it. So I grabbed one just out of curiosity, $5.66. I figured I couldn't go wrong. On the end of this, a lot of times the doorknob or the actuator will fall out, and inside of there you see like a little square hole. A lot of times screwdrivers won't fit, but this guy weird, you notice how he's tapered? So it's tapered from 4mm all the way up to 8mm, so it'll fit a wide variety of those actuators. You can slide this little guy into the hole and open or close the door that way. And then moving up here, let's say that you want to replace a lock cylinder, but you don't know what size. Of course, it's measured from the center. So you'd slide this guy in, you would center him in the actuator and start turning the lock. And then marked on this guy are the graduations that tell you how long the replacement cylinder needs to be. Pretty cool stuff. On this end, doesn't end there. Let's say that the doorknob falls off, for example, leaving that square shaft. You can't turn it with your hand. You got to dig around, try to find a pair of pliers or vice grips or something. This guy comes with that. You slide it over the handle and then you use this as your door handle to get in. So pretty neat. And then lastly, it looks like a hatchet. You know, I know you guys want me to, I won't do that. A wedge. So if you're working on the door and you don't want it constantly moving around, you just slide this under the door, give it a little kick, and that'll hold it very solidly while you work on the door, probably with another tool on this end. It also is a keychain. I can't imagine putting this, you know, hanging from my keychain, and it'd be one heck of a keychain, but I guess you could hang it with a little carabiner from your bag, and that would keep it real handy for you. Anyway, guys, there you go, the UPVC tool and the repinning kit. By the way, these are $5.66, which is what I made a mistake. I could have bought 3 of them for around $10. So they sell them in bulk. They're about $3 each, $3.50, something like that. Anyway, guys, there you go from Southcoast Locksmith. If you'd like to know how to register, this will be the giveaway this week. Stick around, I'll tell you how to do it. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. All you need to do is navigate to locklab.com, the tribal website, and scroll down in the middle of the page. You'll see all the giveaway buttons, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But the one you're looking for is the Weekend Review giveaway, purple band. Just click on it. It'll take you to the registration page. Again, scroll to the bottom, put in a good email address, so if you win, I can get in touch with you, let you know. Put in a username, doesn't matter what it is, and click Submit. When you're done, you'll get a green check mark confirming your entry. Thanks, guys.